Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're taking a look at the new Battletome Lumineth Realmlords. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe for daily reactions, reviews, and news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials for all the Games Workshop games. Master the elements of war with the new Battletome Lumineth Realmlords. Numinous, dexterous, supercilious by nature. The Lumineth Realmlords are self-proclaimed stewards of the mortal realms. Numinous, dexterous, and supercilious by nature, the Lumineth Realmlords are the self-proclaimed stewards of the mortal realms, determined to protect it from any arcane cataclysm. Battletome Lumineth Realmlords brings those arrogant but brilliant warriors into the era of the beast with a shining host of new rules. So obviously very exciting for the Lumineth Realmlord players out there. I do love this terrain piece here. Super cool, like the tree up on the peak and everything. Yeah, this is a really nice aesthetic to an army right here. I do like the sort of like Zen thing going on. Some of the characters just are slightly cartoony for me, but overall I do like the range. They are really cool. Now, back in the day, I loved the High Elves already. That was like my best friend's main army. So they were already super cool. But I do understand the kind of like direction they were taking in. But overall, I think they have a really nice aesthetic. Super cool. And the models, I mean, honestly, look great. So when battle commences, each aspect of the Lumineth warhost operates in independent harmony, performing their part of the perfectly synchronized plan. Vanari warriors serve as a solid core supported by superior Cenari spellcasters, while lightning-fast hurricane flyers strike at weak points and the icons of the Alareth stand indomitable, counterpunching the earthen might. Renowned for their near-limitless knowledge of the arcane wizards, like the new Scenari Enlightener, are the Renowned for their near-limitless knowledge of the arcane wizards like the new Scenari Enlightener, are the beating thaumaturgical hearts of the Lumineth army. Such is the skill of these sorcerers' powerhouses that Cenari heroes can even ward off death itself with a Phoenix Stone. So the Phoenix Stone, once per battle, before you allocate a wound or a mortal wound to another friendly Lumineth Realmlord's hero within 12 inches of the bearer, and that wound or mortal wound would cause that hero to be slain, you can roll a dice on a 3-up. That wound or mortal wound is negated. You can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to that hero, and any wounds that remain to the allocated to it are negated. So once per battle, before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to another friendly Lumineth Realmlord's hero within 12 inches of the bearer. So it says another friendly, which means the bearer can't use it theirself, I believe. And that would wound or mortal wound would cause that hero to be slain. So you have one wound left, basically. You're about to kill that hero with a mortal wound or that wound. You roll a dice, and on a 3-up, the wound or mortal wound that would kill them is negated. You can heal them a D3 wounds, so they're still at 1, and then they would go up to either 2 or 4, possibly 3, obviously, as well. And then any wounds that remain to be allocated to it are negated. So it stops any further damage. So pretty cool. It basically saves their life on a 3-up, and then gives them a couple of hit points. Very strong. Now, obviously, you know, depending on when this happens, in the phase, etc., or in the turn, you know, they could still die right afterwards, because it is once per battle. So, very cool, though. This Puissant artifact is far more reliable than before, allowing another friendly hero within 12 inches to cheat death on a roll of a 3-up. Not only is the wound that would kill them negated, along with all other incoming wounds, but the searing flames of rejuvenation also restore a D3 lost wounds. The unflinching scions on the Alarith Temple commune with mountains and embody the enduring peaks of Aish. While swifter forces surge around them, the Alarith Stone Guard stand their ground at key battle point with the fortitude of the earth. So here we see the fortitude of the earth. Again, pretty cool model. I can understand people don't like the cow aesthetic. I think that's one of the main complaints I've heard about the looks. This unit has a ward of 4+ against mortal wounds while it is contesting an objective that you control. So that's pretty cool. The Alarith were always tough, especially for elves, but this new ability makes them truly indomitable. Blessed with a word of 4+ against mortal wounds while they are holding objectives, they can shrub off magic and poisons that would bypass their finely crafted armor. So 4+ against mortal wounds is pretty strong. As if being hard as stone wasn't enough, the Alarith can also hit like an avalanche. Alarith stone mages now have access to the Molten Talisman, a new artifact that adds 1 to wound rolls for friendly Alarith units wholly within 12. So the Molten Talisman add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by friendly Alarith units wholly within 12 of the bear if the bear did not charge in the same turn. So very strong. If the bear did not charge in the same turn. So you need to keep the bear back, or this is useful when they or someone else is charged. But +1 to wound is obviously very strong. Keep your stone mage from charging into combat, and you'll see your stone guard wounding on 2s with their mighty mallets and deadly diamond picks. It's not a healthy prospect for anyone who wants to steal an objective out from under them. Bounding and soaring over these immovable warriors are the acolytes of the Hurakan Temple. Hurakan wind chargers boast nearly unrestricted movement, leaping over infantry lines to isolate and eliminate high-value targets with their wind charger arrows. So the wind charger arrows. Ward rolls cannot be made for wounds and mortal wounds caused by attacks with the missile weapon by this unit. So pretty cool. Obviously takes away wards. These deadly weapons no longer ignore cover. After all, your tree runner mounts can just bound over any defenses, but instead completely bypass ward rolls. Whether banishing the ethereal night haunt or hunting down ruin-warded Duradin champions, these riders are a needle-sharp rapier carried on a magical winds. So Battletome Lumineth Realmlords contains heaps more goodies for the Vanari, Cenari, Alarith, and Hurakan, and that's before matters become dire enough that the Archmage Teclis and his best friend Kalinar take to the field. It also covers the 6 great nations of Haish, mastering these disparate styles and bringing them together in a glorious synergy that will be crucial to victory in their battles. So yeah, pretty cool overall. The actual special abilities they showed off, cool, but I don't know, not game changing, I guess you could say. Like the Tzeentch stuff seemed far more powerful. Obviously, it was a little more like magic oriented. But strong nonetheless. Obviously, +1 to wound is a big deal, especially on somebody that's already wounding on 3s. They do hit pretty hard, and saving a hero from death, pretty strong as well, and slightly buffed from its older iterations. But a little lackluster of a reveal, in my opinion. They could have talked just a little bit more about, what was going to make this new codex so great. And I guess maybe I'm just a little bit biased because with the Lumineth, I feel like they have just had like a never-ending rollout of codexes. I believe this is like their, 3rd codex now in just a couple years. I don't know. It seems insane just how many codexes they've got. Because I'm pretty sure they got their first codex right before the new army box. Then the new army box had a new codex. Then that was, a couple years ago now. And here they are with another codex. So it's something like 3 codexes in 3 years or something like that. Or battle tomes. Which in my opinion is just far too many. Now, if you're a Lumineth player, I'm sure you're probably excited for this new Battletome. As it should help to bring them hopefully into balance. I don't want to say like make them better. They are pretty strong already, obviously. But in my opinion, it's all about balance. Not only like from one army to another, but your actual book needs to be balanced as well. So that every time you see a Lumineth force, it's not just the same force over and over again. You need to have like the balance within the book. So people take what they like and take what's fun because it's still good, not just taking what's good. And I think that's a problem that often happens in Warhammer, at least like recent Warhammer, is 1 or 2 or whatever units will be overpowered. So you'll literally see them in every army. And it kind of takes the fun out of, the list building or, collecting of models. And then obviously can hurt the playing of games if those models are too strong. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily the case for Lumineth, but they've been plagued in the past with a little bit of that. So, but you guys, I know there's a bunch of like hardcore Lumineth players out there. If you are a Lumineth player, let me know what you're most looking forward to in the new codex. What changes need to be made, like for the good or for the bad. You know, like what's the best like auto include unit right now, and what's something that like people would never take. And would you like to see the auto include be a little less good and the stuff that people never use be a little less bad? But overall, they have always been sort of a glass hammer in many ways. You know, good, strong magic, obviously like hard hitters. And overall, I like the aesthetic. I could see where it's just a little much in some cases. It definitely took a little time to grow on me, and I've gotten used to it over time. But for me, there'll always be the high elves. So, but if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. It's absolutely free. And, you know, if you're into these daily videos, reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion, or magnetization tutorials, check out the playlist. There is tons and tons of anything you could want hobby related. And obviously, we do focus on Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, and some Horus Heresy content as well. But that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.